She trusted him as a man of God. He touched her like a devil in the dark. She begged for mercy. He answered with destruction. In a city where thousands placed their faith, their future, their very souls into the hands of one powerful pastor, a deadly secret was quietly growing behind the altar. A respected man of God, a desperate young woman with nothing to lose, one hidden disease, and a lie so dangerous it would shake an entire city. This is not just a story of betrayal. This is the story of how power corrupted faith, how silence destroyed innocence, and how the truth, when it finally came out, destroyed everything in its path. When the secret exploded, it didn't just ruin one life. It shattered a marriage, it silenced a church, and it exposed a shepherd who had become a wolf. Tonight, you will hear the shocking, true life-inspired story of Pastor John and Amaka, a story that began with prayers and ended with sirens, tears, and unforgivable consequences. Don't blink, don't look away, because what happens next will change everything. She trusted him as a man of God. He touched her like a devil in the dark. She begged for mercy. He answered with destruction. In one of the busiest cities in Nigeria, where churches stood on every street and prayers echoed louder than traffic horns, there lived a man everyone called Daddy. His real name was Pastor John. Every Sunday before sunrise, the church was already full. Old women with aching knees, young men with broken dreams, mothers carrying babies on their backs, businessmen in expensive suits. They all came for one reason: Pastor John. When he stepped onto the altar, the room would fall silent. "My people," he would shout, and the crowd would roar back. They said when he prayed, the sick recovered. When he spoke, broken marriages healed. When he touched, demons fled. Online, his sermons reached millions. God sent this man for our generation, people said. But nobody knew what happened after the church lights went off, after the cameras stopped, after the doors were locked. That was when the real Pastor John came out. Far away from the luxury of the pastor's mansion, in a one-room apartment with leaking walls, lived a young woman named Amaka. She was 26 years old. Her father was dead. Her mother was dying. And poverty had wrapped itself tightly around her life. Every month, she sent whatever little money she had back to her village for her mother's hospital bills. Some days, she slept with hunger. But the darkest secret of all was the one nobody knew. Amaka was HIV positive. The day the doctor told her, the world went quiet. You can live, but your life will never be the same. From that day, she carried two weights on her shoulders: poverty and shame. One afternoon, while scrolling on her weak phone, she saw the advert. Personal assistant needed, Pastor John's ministry. Her hands shook. Everyone wanted that job. It meant stable salary, respect, connections. She applied with the last data on her phone. 2 days later, she got the call. "You start on Monday." She screamed with joy. She thought God had finally remembered her. She did not know she was walking into hell disguised as blessings. Pastor John's office was bigger than Amaka's entire house. Air conditioner cold, perfume in the air, gold frames on the wall. "Welcome, my daughter," he said with a bright smile. He stood up and shook her hand, but something in his eyes didn't match the smile. "I need loyalty," he said calmly. "I need obedience, and I need someone who understands sacrifice." "I understand, sir," she said softly. "You'll do very well here." She left the office smiling, but behind that smile, a trap had already been set. For the first 2 weeks, everything was normal. She arranged schedules, answered calls, prepared meeting files. Then the compliments started. "You look beautiful today. That dress fits you perfectly. You are different from other girls." She laughed it off. But slowly, the compliments became uncomfortable. One evening, as everyone else had left, he called her back into the office. "Sit down, Amaka," she sat quietly. "You know you are special, right?" he said softly. "Thank you, sir." He leaned forward. "Not many women have what you have." His hand touched hers. Her body froze. "Sir, please, just want to work." His smile disappeared. That night, her job ended silently. The next morning, a letter waited on her desk. "Your services are no longer required." No reason, no warning, no mercy. She went home with her belongings in a small box. That night, her mother called from the village. "Amaka, the doctor wants more money for my treatment." She couldn't speak. She only cried. Weeks passed. Rent overdue. Food finished. Her phone always on low battery. One night, as she lay on her bed in the dark, hunger twisting her stomach, one name entered her mind like poison. Pastor John, the man who destroyed her job, also held the power to save her. The next morning, she dressed neatly and went back to the church. When he saw her, he smiled slowly. "So, life is not easy outside, is it?" Her pride collapsed. "I need my job back, sir," she whispered. He stood up and walked closer. "I can help you, but loyalty comes with conditions." She understood immediately, and for the first time in her life, she sold her silence. The phone calls began. "Meet me at the hotel." Envelopes of money followed, and every time, he refused protection. "I am a servant of God," he would say proudly. "Nothing can touch me." But Amaka knew what could. What he never knew was that she recorded everything. Every call, every message, every threat. She cried every night. But she also prepared for war. Pastor John's wife, Grace, had been married to him for 22 years. She prayed behind him, served under him, protected his image. But she could feel it. Late-night calls, hidden chats, excuses after church. One night, she hired a private investigator. 2 weeks later, pictures arrived on her phone. Pastor John, Amaka, hotel room. Grace didn't scream. She didn't cry. She waited. During a closed elders meeting, Grace stormed in. She dropped the pictures on the table. "Here is your man of God." The room exploded. Pastor John denied everything. Amaka stood shaking at the back. Grace looked at her and said coldly, "You will pay for this." But she didn't know who the real victim was yet. 3 days later, police knocked on Amaka's door. "You are under arrest for deliberately infecting Pastor John with HIV." The street gathered. People whispered. Shame swallowed her. She screamed. He refused protection. He said God protects him, but the law did not listen to tears.